Dakota Johnson just reminded the world why mystery can be the most powerful form of allure, and the newly surfaced photos of her are nothing short of spellbinding, not because they tried hard to shock, but because they reveal a side of Dakota that fans never fully expected, a side that feels raw, magnetic, and impossible to ignore. And what makes this moment so electrifying is the way she manages to balance subtle elegance with commanding boldness in a way that few stars can pull off. Because while many people still picture her through the lens of her 50 Shades breakout, these images tell the story of a woman who has grown far beyond the early roles that first made her a household name, stepping into a confidence that feels effortless and a style that bends the rules without ever losing its authenticity. And when you look at the behind-the-scenes snaps, the candid frames from quiet escapes, and the intimate glimpses from private gatherings, what becomes clear is that Dakota doesn't just wear fashion, she transforms into something that feels alive. Whether it's a plunging gown, a relaxed sundress, or a simple bikini by the water that somehow looks like a piece of cinematic history when it's on her. And that's what separates her from so many others in Hollywood, because she isn't trying to be flawless. She's just existing in her space with a kind of natural poise that the lens can help but magnify. And that's why these photos are sparking so much buzz, because they capture the tension that defines her presence, the softness of her quiet personality contrasted with the boldness of her presentation, a duality that leaves even her most loyal fans surprised and captivated. And as people scroll through the newly leaked or rediscovered shots, the reactions say it all. Comments like "she looks unreal" or "I've never seen her like this" flood the feeds, proving that she has the rare ability to reinvent without forcing reinvention, to stay true to herself while evolving into something greater. And that unpredictability is why social media can't stop talking about her right now. Because one moment she's dressed in a romantic, delicate piece that speaks to her graceful side, and the next she's rocking a daring cut that demands attention. And both versions feel completely authentic, showing that Dakota Johnson doesn't need to play by the traditional rules of celebrity glamour. She writes her own. And the photos from quiet vacations highlight that even more, with her sunlit figure, tousled hair, and effortless stride making the most ordinary settings look cinematic, almost like each candid moment is part of a larger story unfolding. And that's the magic of her presence. She doesn't need heavy styling or an elaborate stage to captivate. She turns the simplest moment into something unforgettable. And the more you see of her in these frames, the more it feels like Dakota Johnson is teaching a masterclass in understated dominance, proving that allure isn't about shouting the loudest, but about owning every detail, every glance, every gesture in a way that feels natural and yet unforgettable. And that's why these circulating photos are so much more than just images. They're evidence of her evolution, of her transformation into an icon who doesn't need extravagance to be powerful. Because Dakota Johnson is redefining what it means to be magnetic. And if you thought you had already seen all there was to see about her, these photos make one thing clear: you've only just begun to scratch the surface. Because Dakota Johnson is leaving people breathless, one frame at a time. And she's proving that true allure isn't built on trying, it's built on being.